Debate over free speech heats up as activist speaks out at Parliament. In a moment that has reignited the national conversation around free speech, a prominent activist recently appeared at the UK Parliament to raise concerns about the direction of public discourse and government policy. The appearance, while brief, was enough to capture attention across the political spectrum and online communities, prompting reflection on how democracies manage dissent, platform access, and citizen participation in shaping national conversations. The exchange, which took place outside a parliamentary session and was partially captured by independent cameras, saw the activist calmly but firmly question a member of parliament on issues ranging from content regulation to media coverage and the perceived narrowing of acceptable speech in public debate. While some segments of the video went viral, many viewers expressed frustration that major media outlets either did not cover the incident or presented it only in brief summaries. Let's break down what happened and what it means in the broader context of political expression in the UK. The activist, known for his outspoken views on political and social issues, was seen outside Westminster engaging a member of Parliament in a direct conversation. At the heart of his message was a critique of recent legislative trends that, in his view, restrict the public's ability to challenge dominant narratives. "We need to talk honestly about who controls the conversation," he said. "When people are removed from platforms for expressing views, even ones that are controversial but legal, that has real consequences." The MP responded by emphasizing the importance of responsible speech. "There's a line between freedom of expression and speech that incites harm," they said. "As legislators, we have a duty to protect both civil liberties and public safety." One key point raised during the discussion centered on the role of social media and traditional broadcasters. The activist argued that people who hold unpopular or dissenting views often feel marginalized or deplatformed in ways that limit their participation in public dialogue. Digital platforms, many of which are private companies, have increasingly faced pressure from governments to moderate content more aggressively. Critics argue that this has created an environment where controversial voices, even those not breaking laws, are pushed out of the public square. Supporters of these moderation efforts argue that social media has become a vector for misinformation and harmful rhetoric, and that strong content policies are needed to protect users from real-world consequences. The public reaction to the activist's parliamentary appearance was predictably mixed. Supporters praised his willingness to speak directly to power, viewing it as a legitimate form of democratic engagement. "This is what citizenship looks like," one commenter wrote under a widely shared clip. "We need more people asking questions, not fewer." On the other side, critics warned that giving unfiltered platforms to controversial figures can inadvertently amplify harmful ideas. "We shouldn't confuse free speech with consequence-free speech," a political analyst noted in a recent op-ed. "There's a difference between questioning authority and promoting division." This incident comes at a time of heightened national reflection around the balance between liberty and regulation. With new laws such as the Online Safety Act gaining traction, the debate over what constitutes protected speech versus harmful content is more relevant than ever. According to legal experts, the challenge lies not in choosing sides but in designing systems that can adapt to a fast-moving digital world while upholding democratic principles. "We need nuance, not noise," said Professor Alan Michaels, a constitutional scholar. "The law should empower people to speak while holding bad actors accountable without painting everyone with the same brush." One reason this activist's remarks resonated with so many is that they tapped into a widespread sense of alienation. Many citizens, regardless of political affiliation, feel unheard in policy conversations. Whether it's due to media fragmentation, algorithmic feeds, or increasingly polarized debate, people across the board are wondering, who gets to speak and who decides? This moment at Parliament, brief though it was, served as a flashpoint for that question. It challenged institutions and the public to think critically about how societies manage disagreement and dissent. It's tempting to view events like this as isolated controversies or viral clips, but they're part of a much deeper societal dialogue. When people feel that their voices are excluded or misrepresented, frustration builds. And when that frustration is ignored, democracy loses something vital: trust. To move forward, it's important not only to defend the principle of free speech, but also to promote a culture of respectful engagement. That means more listening, more dialogue, and fewer assumptions. What's your take on this? Do you think we're striking the right balance between free expression and responsible regulation, or are we leaning too far in one direction? Let us know in the comments below. If you believe in open, nuanced discussions on the most important issues of our time, Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. Your voice matters, and together, we can keep the conversation alive.